Hello, everyone. As soon as I press record, of course the neighbor starts mowing their lawn. So I'm sorry if you can hear that. I'm just going to carry on because I need to get this done and dusted. But this is, per some viewer requests, another look into my journal, or I guess a more detailed look into my journal. I love seeing other journal videos, and I am more than happy to share mine. I just really haven't shown a lot of pages because they're personal, and so I don't know how interesting it would be that I'm like covering up a lot of my pages. But hey, we're gonna do it anyway, and yeah, I will kind of show you what it is I dump in here. It really is a mix of everything. So I guess you could call it sort of like an everyday kind of commonplace journal. A lot of it is tarot, but then I have, memories and other types of lists and such, just whatever I feel like putting in here. So this is a Dingbats journal, and it is my first Dingbats, and I like everything about it except for this pebbled cover. So I have decided that once I am done with this, and I don't have too much more to go, yeah, I don't have too much more to go. It's like only this much more. So once I'm finished with this one, I'm going back to my Leuchtturm 1917. Those are the journals that I had been using prior to trying this one out, and I just prefer the covers of those journals, and they have started making an A5 that has a thicker GSM paper, so it will be less likely to show any ghosting on the other side. And yeah, I'm ready to get back to Leuchtturm. But anyway, so got some stickers here, and I like to do me some decorating. I love all the stickers, and as we can see, this started in October. So I just start on any given day. It doesn't really matter at any given time. And so, yeah, first entry is October 14th. This was actually for a collaborative live that we did on Rochelle's channel from Amethyst Ascension. She was doing like a haiku challenge where we had to pick cards, write a haiku describing that card, and then other people on the challenge would try to guess what that card was. So that's what this is. And let me see here. Got the ones tabbed. So a lot of what I do is spreads, and especially spreads from people in the tarot community. So as you can see here, I did one from Zane, and another one here from Gigi. She's changed her channel name to, oh goodness, Earth. Oh no, Earth Power Oracle or something like that. I'm so sorry, Gigi, but this was actually a tag that she created, and I saw a bunch of VRs, and I just decided to just do it in my journal, and I didn't get around to sharing it. Probably not because I didn't want to share it, but maybe I don't know, just didn't get around to it. Another one here, this was the pandemic spread by Nancy over at Paper Moon Tarot. And you can see here, there are times when I decorate my pages, and then there are times when I don't. I'll maybe throw a sticker, maybe some washi, not even that. So it just really depends what mood I'm in. So here we have a coloring page. This was a gift, a lovely Christmas gift, and what I like to do is when I color, I just paste them in my journal because something to do with it. What do you do once you're done coloring a page? So I do trim the page so that it does fit my journal. I am not one to color a full page. Normally, I don't like coloring backgrounds. I get over it really quickly. I'm just more about coloring like the central figure, and I really couldn't care less about the rest. So having it cropped for my journal is a nice way to just shorten the whole process, but it's a lovely stress relief for sure. Okay, so here is another spread that I did with Lenormand, the butterfly Lenormand, and I actually did talk about this in a video. What video? I don't remember, but I did talk about this particular spread where I asked if we were going to win a bid on a house because we were house hunting at this point, and this was a house that we really wanted, and the answer was yes. So another thing that I like to do in my journals is I like to take the time to show my appreciation for gifts that have been given to me, whether the deck ultimately stays with me or I decide that I'm not using it, so I'm going to pass it on to someone who will enjoy and use it. I still always love to just give thanks in my journal, and because it really is the thought that counts. It really, really is, and it means so much to me. So I do that. What's this? Oh yeah, this was from a spread by Thea over at Garden Goddess Tarot, and Meg, she did this on her channel, so then that looked like fun, so I kind of like did it along with her, I think. And again, so you can see here, it's like super sloppy. It just really depends on the mood I'm in. Sometimes I'm all about decorating. It's a nice creative outlet to like slap stickers on there and such, and then other times I don't. Okay, this I feel like I might have shown before in a video as well. Maybe not, I don't remember, but this was just kind of having fun with recent Doll Coven members. I have a coven, the Rose Coven. That's the name of the coven. These are some recent members from, I call them transfers from the Peculiar Coven. The Peculiar Coven is a very competitive coven, and when certain members don't cut it, they are given the option to come to the Rose Coven, and I gladly accept. So this was just a wonderful, just a wonderful addition to the coven. So I just put some stickers here and like a little note here. I like to use art cards, that used to be Oracle cards. I will save them and use them as art cards, and often like write a little note on the inside and kind of use this as like a Dutch door, like a double door here. Okay, so this was a spread from Derek John Thomas over at The Hanged Man and the Moon, and he created this individuation spread, which was really interesting. It was based on Jungian psychology, based on the process of individuation, which I had no idea what the hell this was. And so Derek had kindly explained it to me, and I did some Googling, and so I decided to try this spread. And it looks more complicated than it is, actually. And so I used my trimmed Tarot of a Moon Garden here, and then I, once again, kind of used this as like a little door. Where did I get this? I think I got this from one of those Amazon catalogs. I don't know if anyone else receives them. They just send them around Christmas time, and it's really an activity book for children to get their palette wet for, begging for all types of gifts on Amazon. And the catalog gives you a lot of activities and things you can punch out like this. So that's where I got it. And so I just kind of used it to make notes on the inside here. I just use a lot of random things. I have also recorded holiday gifts in my journal, and I do this, not to focus on the material, but again, it's a way to take a moment to give thanks. And also it's a nice reference for, when I have something and I'm like, oh wait, where did I get this? When did I get this? Like, who gave this to me? I can refer to my list. My year in review, which I started doing a couple years back. This was actually inspired by Renee over at Meadowlark Mystic. And I've since kind of adapted it to suit me, but I jot some things that are, the good, the not so good, typical year in review stuff, and then I do a little bit of kind of like a summary, just a little bit of reflection here. And this was another coloring page. This might have been a freebie on one of the coloring groups that I'm in on Facebook. If you're interested in coloring, there are great private adult coloring groups, and a lot of times artists will provide freebies that you can go ahead and download and color. So I think that's where I got this one, pretty sure. Okay, so I usually do a year ahead for a friend of mine. So this is her 2023 year ahead spread. She chose, I give her option of a few decks that I think she'll like, and she chose The Way of the Panda, which I had so predicted she would. And then on this side, I have my 2023 card of the year spread that I took from Sarah over at Waterchild Tarot. And the decks that I used were the beautiful Korea Tarot, Tarot of the Heart, and the Korean Cultural Heritage Tarot. All Korean decks, all from Korea. I apologize, you cannot get them easily, or if at all, they might be out of print. I don't know. Anyway, so, and Sarah does have a video on how she kind of devised this spread. And so here we have the birth card and my life path card. These are taken from the Tarot of the Heart. And my life path card also being the collective 2023 card of the year. And then my card of the year, which I chose not by, calculation, but rather just by a random draw. So, and then these four here. So this is this was my card of the year that I chose, and this is from the Korean Cultural Heritage Tarot, which is a majors only deck. And then these correspond to the questions for the spread. And then again, I used this little door method to write my reflections here. And I post that there like this. Okay, so I know you can't see much. I have also taken to writing my goals in my journal. So these are the categories that I usually focus on. So the physical, so I'll think of a couple of small things for each category that I want to accomplish, or habits that I want to cultivate in that year. So I have the physical, the mental, tarot divination, and creativity / wild card. And then here again, another coloring page, probably a freebie that I just cut out and posted there. Let's see. This was, so this year I have been focusing on being better about the lunar observances. So for every new and full moon, I try to do a spread, and I usually take my spreads from Alan Bones Tarot that you can find on Instagram. I like their spreads because they aren't terribly detailed or long. They usually keep it to like 4 to 7 cards, mostly like 4 around, or 3 even. So I tend to like the shorter spreads. And of course, for the Korean New Year, 설날, I used the Bangtan Tarot. And again, reflected on the next page, did some journaling. Okay, so this is something that I started doing at the end of each month. Just some memories and additional things that I want to record that maybe weren't recorded previously in the previous pages. And so, yeah, just, some of the events that I've been to and, yeah, memories, gifts, letters, etc. This was January. Okay, so this was a Pisces new moon spread, and actually for this one I decided to use the Moon Void Tarot and use the spread that was created by Moon Void Tarot. And this was this was the situation where, I did the spread, I wrote down, what I thought the spread was indicative of, and then come 2 days later, 3 days later, something happens and I'm like, oh, this is actually what this spread was speaking to. Not that this is not helpful, but this is really what the spread was speaking to. So I don't know if any of you have also had experiences like that where it's kind of a delayed realization. And then, oh yes, okay, so February, again, like a kind of recap of other things, other memories. Went to see, Matt and I went to see the Yet to Come BTS concert at the theater. And Matt was such a gracious participant, voluntold to go. Here I finished this 1,000 piece puzzle. I finished binge watching Buffy. So it was a good month. And then for March, honestly, I didn't really do much because half of that month was spent in Europe. So I did the full moon spread, and I think the first part of the month was really trying to get shit done and prep for the trip. And then so here my March recap does cover that trip, but here are some other things. Finished another puzzle, a lovely gift, lovely letter, a lovely memory. And then here, this is where I kind of go into my trip to Reykjavik, Iceland, Tofta, Sweden, and Oslo, Norway. So just some highlights from that trip at the end of March. And more from that. And then, okay, here, so speaking of my coven, I decided I wanted to make note of the members as they stood. As of April 28th, these are the members of the Rose Coven. As you can see, I have Opal is a transfer from the Peculiar Coven. I have all of their birth dates written, as well as their sun signs. And yeah, it's a thriving coven. And again, a couple more transfers from the Peculiar Coven, one transfer from the Mixtress Coven. So, I guess we take the rejects, or no, just kidding. I'm so kidding. We're a loving coven. So this is my April recap. Yeah, just some memories, things that I really enjoyed that made me happy. Sanditon, which I did actually cover. So some of this I actually covered in the Three Girls One monthly catch up that Sarah, Heather, and I did, and it's up on Sarah's channel. So if you haven't checked that out, it's a pre-recorded catch up that we're going to be doing every month, all of them pre-recorded. So I did mention some of these things, but yeah. And another memory here. my tarot pogs that I made. This was so much fun. I have a tutorial of this up on my channel. And yeah, that's it. That's where we're gonna stop. So this is my journal, and I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, I don't know if this is something where you want to see every month. I don't know that I would have enough to show every month, because it really is just on a kind of mood dependent basis whether I decide to put something in my journal or not. It's not structured at all, except for a few things like the monthly kind of recaps. If you are interested, I can maybe come back and share another few months with you. So let me know in the comments below. And until the next video, much love and take care.